Guys, I'm sorry, but the Republicans are just dumb. So I'm sure you've seen on the news, Sarah Huckabee Sanders has been dominating the news cycle for the past couple days because she has made one of the most idiotic comments, in the same vein as JD Vance. Let's check it out.
Not only do my kids serve as a permanent reminder of what's important, they also keep me humble. You can walk into a room like this where people cheer when you step onto the stage, and you might think for a second that you're kind of special. Then you go home, and your kids remind you very quickly you're actually not that big of a deal. And ours are pretty good at it. So my kids keep me humble. Unfortunately, Kamala Harris doesn't have anything keeping her humble.
I mean, the comment is so dumb for so many reasons. And first, let me explain who Sarah Huckabee Sanders is. She is the former press secretary for Donald Trump and also the current governor of Arkansas. Arkansas, y'all could have did a little bit better than that, but I get it. Tribalism, DEI hire, totally get it. Dad was a politician, so of course she's gonna get it. Ugh, nepotism, I tell you. Just the comment, the focusing on women that don't have children and making it seem like their lives are not as full or as prominent or as important if you don't have children, or as important as people that do have children. I don't understand how they think that that is a winning message. I think they think that they are just attacking Kamala by making those comments, not understanding that the vast majority of women in America don't have children. The One of the biggest voting blocks of the female demographic, 18 to 24, 80 to 90% of them don't have children. Even speaking to that specific demographic of women, the most famous childless cat lady, who that demographic, I'm sure the vast majority of them, if not her fans, are aware of Taylor Swift. And she just endorsed Kamala and Tim. And you go on stage and make a comment about a woman not being grounded or humble because she doesn't have children. As if, you know what? I'll let Sunny Hostin say it better.
A couple of ways. I think she intentionally mispronounced the vice president's name to start with. The vice president is a stepmother, and her stepchildren call her Mamala. So they love her. She is a mother. She is a mother figure. But let's call this another thing, which is what I saw, this lack of humility trope. Kamala is a self-made person. She is a child of immigrants. Coming to a new country, or even born here with immigrant parents who maybe have accents and don't speak the language, and your family gets treated differently, is a pretty humbling experience. I think when you're not born on third base into a political family is a pretty humbling experience. And the trope that a Black woman lacks humility because she is well-educated and accomplished and confident and competent is a tired trope. And Sarah Huckabee Sanders, that says a lot more about you than it says a lot anything about you.
And Sunny Hostin hit that on the head, because there's also an undercurrent of racism in those attacks against Kamala as well, because she is so well educated, because she has ascended to such great heights, she can't possibly be humble. They can't fathom someone like her being humble. But just going back to the topic of like women not having children, let me give you some stats on that. So, like I said before, women that are of the age of 18 to 24, 80 to 90% of them do not have children. 25 to 29, 55 to 60%, 30 to 34, 35 to 40%, 35 to 39, 20 to 25%, 40 to 44, 16 to 20%. And then 45 and older, 15%. Now, there are a myriad of reasons as to why women in this modern age would not have a child. One, I could definitely think about the decision to appeal Dobbs, which is essentially the woman's right to choose, sending it back to the states. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who is the governor of Arkansas, who has one of the highest maternal mortality rate in our country, who, as of this year, was in an interview being checked. She declined Medicare funds to extend postpartum care from I think it was 60 days her state provided, when if she would have accepted the funds it would have been 12 months. Actually, just check the clip out.
So your state, you're talking about the sanctity of life. Your state had one of the highest maternal mortality rates in the country, according to the CDC, up until about 2021. Arkansas is one of the few states that hasn't extended postpartum care for mothers. Why don't you want those moms to get care for a full 12 months, as is being offered, instead of just 60 days?
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with the premise of your question, saying that I don't want that. I certainly want us to do everything that we can to help during pregnancy and well after a child is born, which is why we have done things like focus on the foster and adoption care. We've put significant funding into our pregnancy crisis centers. We're focusing on things that help our mothers, including bring your kids to work at state government. We've expanded maternity leave for state employees. We included that in our education package. We have taken a number of steps that are very positive in this front, and we're going to continue to do that as long as I'm governor.
But the states of Mississippi, Wyoming, Montana, South Dakota, they did extend for 12 months rather than the 60 days. So I'm just wondering specifically on that option, why you opted out.
We're going to continue to look at options that we feel like best help people here in the state of Arkansas. We've done that in a number of ways, and we're going to continue to do that over the course of hopefully the next 7 years while I'm governor of Arkansas.
They're the party of family values. Not only a woman possibly having complications within a pregnancy and being in a state where there is an abortion ban and people are literally dying and bleeding out in a car, I could see that being a reason as to why someone would not want to have children. Two, it's expensive as shit to have children. I have a dog and it's difficult to support him. I'm just saying. And also too, maybe a lot of these women just don't want to be a mother. We just come into modern times and understand that there are actually women out here that don't feel like they were put on this planet to conceive. I don't know. Call me crazy. Oh my God. Here we go. Being, this woke liberal to have that thought that there are actually some women out there that don't want to have kids. Watching her on that stage saying that with her chest just really made me think of what Michelle Wolf said at that correspondence dinner, and it rings so true.
We are graced with Sarah's presence tonight. I have to say, I'm a little starstruck. I love you as Aunt Lydia on The Handmaid's Tale. Every time Sarah steps up to the podium, I get excited because I'm not really sure what we're going to get. A press briefing, a bunch of lies, or divided into softball teams. It's shirts and skins, and this time don't be such a little bitch, Jim Acosta. And I'm never really sure what to call Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Is it Sarah Sanders? Is it Sarah Huckabee Sanders? Is it Cousin Huckabee? Is it Auntie Huckabee Sanders? What's Uncle Tom but for white women who disappoint other white women? Oh, I know, Aunt Coulter.
I want to say to all the childless cat ladies, I stand with you. I support your choice in not having a kid, and I empathize and sympathize with the women out there that do want children, but it's just not in the cards for you. One last thing, there's another point that I would like to make. Damn, I lost it. One message that I do have to Democrats: clips like these are the reason why I think making Trump the biggest boogeyman known to man is such a bad idea. Obviously I know he's at the top of the ticket. So of course we're going to focus on him. And obviously he's such a horrible person. But also, when it comes to the JD Vances, when it comes to the Ted Cruzes, the Marco Rubios, the Josh Hawleys, the Sarah Huckabee Sanders, he has no issue with finding people that parrot the same thoughts and beliefs that he has. So I fear that with Trump being so close to 80, he has only a couple years left, honestly. What happens when he's gone and then we try to use the same play? Like, we have to take it from Trump and really make it to the point where it's the Republican Party as a whole that is the issue, that needs to find a way to be better and be more inclusive. Like, conservatism is fine, but conservatism isn't supposed to, like, curtail and take away so many people's rights. I don't know, just a thought. So, Aunt Lydia, just shut up. All right, guys, so don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I hope you like this video. Peace.